Hi everyone. I'm coming back on, and it may seem repetitive because it is along the same lines as two of the earlier messages. But I'd just like to add, when it comes to this human need to have approval, to seek validation from others, that is it's understandable because as human beings we desire more than anything to be seen, heard and understood. you know we come here for connection, for that space where you are in a vibrational alignment with somebody else. But really, the drive for that, the reason it is feeling so important for you, is because it's what the soul craves. Excuse me. The soul side of you is just desperate for you to wake up and realize that we are all interconnected, that we are bonded in so many different ways, and it may seem invisible in the 3D world, but your soul is seeking for you to find those little elements, those the threads that connect you with other people. And so that is why you are so desperate to seek that connection and that level of understanding with somebody else. um but just knowing that actually, if you can connect with yourself first, if you can go deep enough and are willing to sort of embrace your soul, to get to know yourself in your own heart, your own person, your own soul, in your own being, then that will open doors for you to be able to connect with others deeply. And I've said this time and time again, if we do not understand ourselves, if we do not put the effort and the time and the work in to get our head around what is going on for us, how then is anyone else expected to be able to meet us at that same place and understand us? Um, and the thing is, in truth, they cannot, because if they do, if they say share with you their own sort of feelings of who you are as a person, and they feel, oh, this is how I see you, you are this and that, well, that then creates a warped sense of self for you, because you are then seeing self through their eyes. And that can be, it can be a little bit dangerous. It can be a slippery slope, because sometimes people have the power to sort of take hold over us, and we eventually start to believe what it is that they are seeing and feeling. So if they say this certain aspect of you is a certain way, eventually over time you believe it. It becomes a limiting belief. It may hold you back. You may start to sit in that energy, to live your life through that lens. And it's a shame, because that is their perspective, not your own. Whereas if you have taken that time to understand yourself, to heal through some of your own baggage and, your own inner sense of self, then you can challenge that. You will have the confidence to say, actually, no. It's interesting that you may see that and that's how you interpret it. However, this is what's true for me. And at the end of the day, that is what matters, what is true for you. So no matter what somebody else is saying about you, to you, whatever it may be, it is what you know and are aware of in here. So that is why it's so important to just tune in with that, because if you're not aware of your own truth, if you are disengaging, if you are connecting on a superficial surface level in your connections with other people, then you're never fully aware of who you are as a spiritual being, as a soul. And you're just living in the 3D sort of surface world, and that's not what you came here to do. Anyone can do that. Time will pass you by if you just live your life in that reality. So I know I say it all the time, but please take some time to go inward, to get to know yourself. As daft as that may sound, how do you in truth get to know yourself? Well, there's many ways you get to know yourself, but one of the easiest ways to do it is to just find stillness. One of the last readings I just did, it showed the card of going by the ocean. How many times I've said over the last couple of months, spend time in nature, spend time in water. Those elements of earth and nature itself allow us to connect with a really calm, serene, beautiful, vibration that clears away all of the heaviness and all of the debris that you carry around, the baggage that's with you. And it can be just a great time to tune in and to feel, to simply sit with yourself and just be at ease. You don't have to be thinking about anything. You don't have to be worrying about anything, questioning. You don't have to have anything going on up here in your mind. It's literally a presence with yourself, being comfortable, just sitting on your own. I mean, how often do we do that? Just take time for ourselves and be on our own. many people feel that they must fill the void of sort of that emptiness. If they're alone, they must fill it by meeting people or buying things or doing things, keeping busy, because in truth it can feel really, really vulnerable to have to go and sit with self. And the daft thing is, if you can't sit alone with yourself, with your own feelings, your own emotions, your own physical body, and how that is sort of reacting to your life, how then can you fully be vulnerable with somebody else? It will be difficult. It will be very difficult, because that person will trigger you to feel things that are out of your control. And if you've never been there before, if you've never experienced those things, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. And for the deepest, truest soul connections in life, that will involve being intimate, deeply intimate, and being vulnerable, being awakened and open to that exchange of energy, emotions, wounds, even, conversation, communication. And that's not always about physical conversation. It can be an energetic conversation. It can be body language, whatever it may be. But you have to be in a place where you are allowing that flow. If you're guarded and you're retracted and you're staying over here because this is safe, then that person's never going to get to know you. That's where you feel. And I feel like this is an important thing to add as well. Many people will find that they're in a relationship with somebody where that's what's going on here. You're connected, you're having some sort of relationship, there's something there, and yet at the same time you do not know that person. You feel like they have never ever let you in. And the truth of the matter is they probably never have, and perhaps they never will, not until they get to a place in their life, a point where they realise that in order for them to change, in order for them to evolve as a soul, to come forward, they need to get deeply, deeply vulnerable and uncomfortable with themselves first. And for a lot of people, it's just too painful. It's just too much. But do you want to be that person? Do you want to stay in a stagnant energy where you will, live a life? You may have a good life, but do you want to live a life like that? Or do you want to live a really deep, fulfilling, and intimate life? A life with deep connection, with meaning, with an understanding that goes beyond the physical body, that goes into the realms of soul and spirit. And to me, it's everything your soul's worked for. Your soul has been here countless times, not for the fun of it, definitely not. You'll have lived lives that have been very traumatic, very tough going. And I'm getting emotional here, but I feel like for the soul, if they are to sit and watch you sit back and waste your life away on an empty connection, on this guarded, superficial, disengaged relationship, then that's sad. That's a waste of time. That was a waste of effort. And you might have had many lives where you fought and fought and fought for a connection, fought for something more, for something deeper, more profound. So to accept or settle for less, to accept that this is okay, it's a loss, it's a shame. But as I say, if you want to transcend and move into something greater than that, if you want to have a bond and a connection with somebody that is elevated, that is deep, that is soul level, then you need to go within. You need to get to know yourself. You need to learn to be comfortable with your own shit. And I will say that, okay, it's the truth of the matter. We need to be okay with ourselves and who we are. We need to be comfortable with that. And then no matter what is thrown at us, no matter what triggers come forward to us through other people, we can handle it because we know who we are. We're confident, we're comfortable, we're okay with what's going on. And most of all, we understand ourselves. We don't want to be in relationships where we are living blindly or shallow surface level detachment. We also don't want to be in a relationship where somebody has sort of become toxic and taken control and dictates our world, or convinces us that we are a certain way when we are not. We just need to be free. We need to take back the reins to have the power and the understanding of who we truly are. And by that I mean soul. So we can all come here and incarnate as beings and live our lives as this identity, whichever person you identify with now in this 3D physical form. But really, the truth of the matter is, you are far greater than that. You have an expanse of knowledge, of experience through previous lifetimes. You are soul and you are beautiful. So get to know yourself, get to know who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, the things that make you tick, the things that make you come alive and make you realize that actually you're really bloody happy to be here. Get in touch with that, even if that hurts, even if that means pulling away. And again, I'm getting emotional, but pulling away, removing all those layers of masks. You know, you can look back at your life and think, actually, I've been wearing a mask for 10 years, however long it may be. But awareness is key. And if you've got to that point after 10 years and you've realised you're wearing a mask, then that's fantastic. That's great, because you've awakened, you've realised that you are more than what everyone else is seeing, what you are showing and sort of representing. And then it's time to take away that mask. It's time to take off the bandages off the wounds, to address certain things within yourself, to get comfortable with your own messy personal self. And you know, no one's perfect. Nobody is perfect at all. Everybody's got their own baggage, but you need to unpack some of your own. And then the right person, when they come into your life, will help you unpack the rest. You know, baggage is something you do together. It's not something that you need to keep trapped in here and hide away from the world. And I feel that that's important as well. It's many of us feel that in order to be loved, we have to be this perfect version of ourselves, and you know, we can't possibly reveal this certain aspect, because then they may not love us, and so we conceal things, we keep things, you know, at a distance, we're at arm's length, or we're guarded. And especially with the heart, matters of the heart, you keep that right there, because that's safe, that's protected. You couldn't possibly share that, because that makes you vulnerable, that opens you up to being potentially hurt. But actually keeping it all trapped in will hurt you anyway. It will create disease. And I say dis-ease, I know you'll have heard that before. Disease is dis-ease. It's something that has made your body recognise on a cellular level that actually this is not right. This is making me feel uncomfortable. And so it starts to attack itself. It starts to, you know, just go rogue. Don't allow that to happen. Get in control, get comfortable with your stuff, your baggage, and be ready for when you meet that right person in your life to just say, this is me and I'm okay with this. This is what's happened to me in my past. This is where I am in my present, and I'm open to the future. I'm happy and comfortable and confident that whatever the world throws at me, I'm happy to receive that, because I know it's for me. And then that person is alongside you. They support you all the way, because you know, the demand, the pressure is not upon them. They are not coming in like your knight in shining armour to win you over, sweep you off your feet. They realise that actually you're doing amazing on your own, and that is fantastic, but they would love to go alongside you and support you anyway. They're not responsible for it on their own, and likewise, neither are you. You shouldn't have to take the burden of somebody else's pain, suffering, silence, guarding, whatever it may be. You just need to be true and open to yourself, and likewise your person. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Sorry if that was a bit of a sort of deep, wishy-washy, emotional one. I always just let this flow through me. There's no great plan here, but I hope something resonated. Thanks for listening. Bye.